The giant nation of Africa, Nigeria, is facing unprecedented kind of challenge in terms of growing its economy. Nigeria, the home of African billionaires, a huge nation with an immense amount of natural resources, including oil, is now facing a dilemma. The International Monetary Fund have prescribed a solution, then made it float its currency and also introduced a lot of economic reforms. What happened finally? Inflation skyrocketed. The value of the Naira, the currency of Nigeria, depreciated by a mind-boggling number. Now, $1 is being sold for about 1,700 Naira. IMF promised, like every other African countries, the promise of the market. The market will correct itself and make the Nigerian economy competitive. Even though it is true that this worked in many countries, but it doesn't seem that it is working in Nigeria. In today's video, we are going to dissect the story of Nigerian economy. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are new to this channel, please do subscribe and smash that like button. Write your question and comment there down in the comment section. So, Nigeria is one of the largest countries in Africa. It is a country with the most population in the continent of Africa. Nigeria is thought to be the center of innovation in the modern African continent. It is a nation of great artists, great writers, great football players. It is the giant of Africa, basically. So just like many African countries or many developing world nations, debt has been playing a lot of role in enticing economic growth in African countries. While different governments, while different political parties assume government positions in these countries, they tend to take loans from governments they have more alignment with. Especially the Chinese have lent out a lot of money for infrastructural buildings to African countries, including Nigeria. But Nigerians, especially right after COVID, have been brought in a lot of challenge. Nigeria basically suffers from a lot of infrastructural challenge, corruption, governance problems, and security problems. But with its huge number of population and the immense natural resources available in the country, the opportunities are high. That's why we find many companies from around the world investing in this biggest nation of Africa. So in order to solve the structural imbalances, the IMF and the World Bank came up with a solution, with their own kind of prescription, with the promise of the market. So with the devaluation of the Naira and with the flotation of the Naira in the exchange market, the promise was simple. With that, foreign direct investments will increase, inflows of remittance will also increase. At the same time, exports will increase, imports will decrease. That's the promise IMF basically gives in short. But what is happening? It looks like foreign direct investment to the Nigerian economy is not growing at all. I mean, not as expected. The Nigerian economy is expected to grow below 3% over the next 2 years. The promises by the IMF and the World Bank are found to be just smoke and mirror. There is high unemployment. With the large population base that Nigeria have, now there is huge number of unemployed youths roaming around the streets of Abuja and Lagos. To make things worse, the way the Nigerian system is made, especially the governance, is bad. That's why we've recently heard that the Nigerian government or people within the government machinery conspired to fail one of the largest private investment in the country, the Dangote refinery. A refinery that is supposed to reduce Nigeria's dependence on importation of an refined oil, while the nation has an immense potential of crude oil resources. A $10 billion investment. People in the government has been working day and night, as we have heard from medias, to fail that company. That is why maybe some Nigerians have been thinking about taking it to the streets, just like their counterparts in the Eastern African nation of Kenya did. At the same time, the government is tasked with increasing its revenue, its tax revenue, because it has to pay the debts. It has to finance the huge amount of budget. Basically, people criticize these governments to be extravagant, using private jets to fly around the world. It was just recently that we heard that the partnership agreement between the Ethiopian Airlines and the Nigerian government to create a flagship carrier, a Nigerian Air, was scrapped. A miss, basically, for the Nigerian economy. A country that is big, a country that is a giant of Africa, still with no airline. It is one of the largest airline market for the biggest airlines in the world, by the way. The airlines from the Middle East basically profit a lot from the Nigerian market, while Nigeria still does not have a competitive airline. When you look at Nigeria, there is an immense potential for economic growth, for investment, for everyone. Because when you see the youth in Nigeria, they're innovative. They are the hotspot of African innovation. Innovations in digital financial technologies, innovations in technologies, innovations in other technological advancements are being brought out very fast in the Nigerian market, even within those challenges. So when you think of Nigeria, think of innovators, not just the bad governance, not just those people who want to destroy their fellow investors like Aliko Dangote. There is also people with innovation. There is also people with immense potential to get the job done. There is also an immense potential market for everyone, because that is a country with hundreds of millions of people. If the Nigerian government tries to work on correcting the governance issues, infrastructural challenges it's faced, and also the corruption, there might be a chance. But the prescriptions by the IMF and World Bank that the market will solve all the problems that Nigeria has been facing seems to be waning away. The government has tried very hard to control any social unrest. But with an inflation that is more than 30%, how long will the government of Nigeria hold on? That we're gonna see. My friends, this is Nagat Post. We cover economic and financial stories from around the continent of Africa. Please do subscribe to our channel if you like the video, and put your questions and any kind of comments right down in the comment section below. Until next time, I will see you with another African financial and economic story. Bye bye. Ciao.